it, so it's better if you come in the duos. I'm way too high, I can talk right now. I'm way too fly, I can stop right now. I'm making money, I be gone, making money at the door. 20 people on my phone. Now when it's buzzing, all the sleepers want a piece of the cake.
What's up? Typically with these projects, work fails to expand time allocated, right? And we have... Alright, 9 o'clock. We're coming to the end of the day. Set this down here. I just had a meeting. I just had two meetings actually. One with the team that I'm building, or both with the team that I'm building this app that I'm working on the side with. We spoke about some of the UX, UI of the app that needs to be improved slightly. We had an agency who did this, but it's gonna need to be changed a little bit. I had a pretty productive day. It's now 8:30 in the evening. So I've been sitting here in the store for like 12 hours. And we had a pretty good day. Sold a lot, had a lot of customers, which was fine. We're seeing right now though that there seems to be some like shipping delay, because a lot of these manufacturers for the store that I'm working in have delays in raw materials. So there's a lot of different products, etc., that we're waiting on. Like as you can see, we got a lot of deliveries today. But if we take a stroll around the store here, there's firstly a bunch of cardboard boxes everywhere, but there's also some empty shelves. Like I'm not sure how well you see this, but not all of the shelves are full. Like this one behind me, quite empty. These helmets were meant to have like 60 of them in stock. We have, as you can see, barely nothing. So we're having a little bit of like a supply chain, I wouldn't call it issue yet, but we're having a little bit of a shortage on stock because we've seen orders ramp up a lot here in September and we haven't really been able to keep up. So all these things here behind me are rest orders, orders that we have been able to ship yet. So that's a little bit negative, of course. People aren't getting their stuff. That's a little bit annoying. We don't make as much money as we could, so a little bit frustrating, but we're gonna have to deal with that. On the development side of things, the meetings I just had, those things are going all good, so I'm quite happy with them. Now I'm gonna pack up my stuff here, head back home, take a quick shower, and then we'll see what we get up to in the night, I guess you'd call this. Bag it out of me like I'm at a Cincinnati game. One of the more tedious or difficult parts about running a business with a lot of inventory. So we have around, I think it's 2,600 different articles, so this 2,600 different SKUs, which is 2,600 different products. So a lot of things to keep track of, a lot of things to make sure that we have in stock. So therefore managing the number of orders that we make is the most difficult, because we have 21 different suppliers. We have them in all different countries, so sometimes the delivery time is 1 day if we're shipping from a supplier in Sweden. Sometimes it's 2 weeks if it's someone in Australia, for example. So it's quite difficult managing all these things and managing all of the orders. I'm doing my best here. So we're currently making an order to an Austrian company that sells helmets. So what I do then is that I have first in this program, I have a list of all of the articles that we have and what the stock level is. And I will then write this down in an Excel sheet just so I can transfer it to an official order document, and then I'll say, just put those in there, and then I'll see, for example, how much I'm purchasing for over here, etc., etc. And when I started here at Arbetsbutiken a little over a year ago, we didn't have any of this. Like, to make an order, you had to walk around the store, see what we were short of, and make an order like that. But now we actually have all of the stock levels inside of the software, so it's quite a lot easier to make those things. But what I've noticed is that there's so much room for improvement here, and this is like where my brain starts kicking off. Like, oh, maybe I should hop off this and just make a SaaS product for this. And something that would be so good here is a Fortnox. Fortnox is quite a leading ERP and CRM system here in Sweden. I believe it's in Scandinavia as well, but it's very big and it's a publicly traded company, huge company. And there are a lot of different plugins for this software. And what would be good would be like an automatic order integration, where it takes the stock level every day. You say, for each and every product, this is how much I want in stock all of the time. And once it gets to a certain threshold, boom, it says, okay, order this. That would be, now DHL comes, so let me pick up in a second. quick break there just to receive the DHL delivery. So when I started here, there was none of this, but what would be good would be to have an integration where you set a minimum stock level. I want this in all the time, and to this supplier I need to make an order of, say, $1,000 every time. So every time you get below a certain stock and you hit $1,000 of total value ordered products that need to be ordered, then poof, an order is automatically sent to an email. That would be such a good plugin. Maybe something that I'll work on in the future, because I think that would help me save a tremendous amount of time and help anyone else save a tremendous amount of time as well. We'll see. But right now we're stuck making these manual orders based on the current stock level. So I have a couple of those to make now in the afternoon. Not in the afternoon, in the PM. What if you call that in the word-wise? A little bit tedious, not the most fun part of the job, but it is what it is. And part of this too is also managing cash flow, because obviously we're quite a small business, so every time we make orders like these, like especially when they come in bulk, when I make a lot in one day, that means in 20 or 30 days we're going to have a lot of invoices to pay, which then means that we're going to have a lot of cash outflow. So I have to manage all these orders that we make together with the cash flow and make sure that the business is running in a smooth and healthy way, and that we're not getting close to any cash flow issues or anything like that, which at the moment we're quite fine with. We've had problems with that before, but that's mostly been due to mistakes that were made in 2022 before my time, where we had to pay a lot of extra VAT to the Swedish authorities just because that wasn't done correctly 2 years ago. So sometimes if you mess up on things like that, you will have to pay for it later on, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're gonna get done with these orders. Then we have Friday, rest of the day. I'm gonna show you also a little bit what it entails with receiving stuff. So if you're planning on, or if you want to run a business like this, then you're gonna need to make sure you're on top of stock levels. Because if you have any type of business with physical products, if you don't know your stock and if you're not on top of stock levels, that complicates accounting, that complicates tax write-offs, because you're not taking inventory value into account quarter over quarter when you're reporting results. And it also makes it a lot more complicated to serve customers in a good and fine and swift way. Now, for example then, here is a delivery that we just received. And in the world of retail, these things that are attached to these packages are literal gold. So this will tell me exactly what this package contains, so exactly what's in here. And therefore, I can just take this, pop this into the system, and update the stock status. So for example, here we've received 3 triple attachment pulleys in the matte gray. I can then take this SKU, put it into the system, and then the stock levels will be updated on the website as well as in the system, so that I can make accurate orders going forward. So these are some of the things which you really got to consider when you're running a business. Focus. When you're running a business of this kind, that you got to keep track of all these deliveries, you got to keep track of what's coming in, not just because you don't want to be ripped off by paying for more than what you receive, but also so that you can manage the stock levels. And if you forget this one time for one supplier, then your entire stock handling system is messed up. So this is something that you got to make sure you do when you get them. Put them in by your computer so you can enter it into the system or find a system that works for you. But these are things which you can never miss, because that's, if you miss it once, you're gonna mess up the entire stock level, and you're not gonna have to do a full, full counting of all of the stock. Whew, I am exhausted. It's only like 6 o'clock, but I've been working since 8 or something like that, so not too bad, but it could be a lot worse. But it's been quite a busy day. Now we're gonna get some food, and then we're gonna head home and do more work. Some degree lacking direction, as in we're having a launch, but I don't think it's super clear to anyone or either of us what we're launching and what's the. If you like these videos, then feel free to subscribe down. Oof, I feel like it's been a long day, man. Not really though. It's been a normal day. I don't know what I'm bitching and complaining for. I just finished recording a video and did some coding tonight. So I did some coding, I did some general setup of just how all the tasks that I have to do and processing of that. I did some emails, and now I'm ready to call it quits for the day. I actually did a whole video going through my Notion and how I use Notion to structure my day. That's probably one of the more common questions that I get. Like, how do you manage your time? How do you manage all of these different things that you do? And one of my secrets is using a good Notion setup. Notion is a fantastic piece of software that you can use to manage everything from complex teams to individual projects. And I'm using this obviously as an individual project type of thing. But I have this dashboard now. This is actually a template that I've made of the dashboard setup that I use. I won't go into detail in this video, but you'll be able to find it on my YouTube channel. I actually share this for free in the link down below if you're looking to optimize how you're spending your time, and if you're looking for a good structure to keep track of your tasks, your project, etc. I found that this structure works the best for me, where I have a nice weekly overview of my tasks, and then these tasks are tied to a specific project, so that I know that I'm working towards something specific and not just doing random tasks for the sake of doing random tasks. If you like the type of structure, then check out the link down below. It's completely free. You can get access to it, copy it, and use this Notion setup by yourself. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I think it was quite a random one, quite a weird one maybe, I'm not sure. But it's been two quite intense days, 2 days of like 12, 13 hours of work, which is always good. I like that, that feels good. Gotten quite some coding done, gotten a lot of at arbeidsbutikken done. On that note, arbeidsbutikken, it's popping off lately. Like, we've started selling chainsaws obviously, so that business has actually been booming to some degree. We're attracting a lot of customers through organic search, which is a little bit better than before. And also like the arbor business, arborist, again for people who don't know, there's are people who climb and prune and cut down trees. And it's September now, mid-September in Sweden, and their business seems to be booming. They're buying gear, they're coming in, they're calling, they're emailing, and you can really feel it in the workload which you have to deal with, which is good because it of course reflects in the bottom line of how you're performing as a company, but it's also difficult because all the other work doesn't slow down. So that needs to be squeezed in all of the routines that have been created over the last half year or so. So when something increases, you have to adapt a little bit and adapt other ones. And one of those things that has had to take a hit is Venture Pals. So Venture Pals is my social accountability app that I built with a co-founder from Holland. And he has obviously done a lot of work on it, and so have I. But now over the last 2 months or so, we have just fallen off completely in how much we've been working on it. So that's something that I really need to get back on track on, because I think that's a good for the world type of app where ambitious individuals are able to connect with other ambitious individuals and speak to each other, make sure people do their tasks, etc. So if that sounds like something for you, then that app is also linked down below. Feel free to check it out. Venture Pals on the App Store or the Google Play. You can hop on there, Tinder, swipe through other entrepreneurs, connect with them, learn from them, speak to them, maybe even become co-founders like how Joel and I started, which is quite a fun task. This weekend we have more work, of course, because we don't slow down, but we also have some chill time. We're going out into the archipelago, me and my girlfriend. I'm going to be working there. I'm not sure how she puts up with all this, but I'm going to be doing some work there, and we're going to be just relaxing a little bit too. But of course the camera is coming along, it don't stop. I've got this film camera, which I'm going to try to use to document some stuff. Like, I want a more authentic feeling in how I'm documenting things. Like, this is a little bit made, you know, when you're sitting down talking to a camera, you know there's some people watching, and you know the future you're going to be watching. But there's something about shooting on like film. Of course, it sounds a little bit pretentious. Oh, of course I shoot film. You should shoot film. Why are you shooting digital? Everything's digital in the world. You get what I mean? But it's a little bit fun to the concept. So like, it's a film camera. There's nothing digital about it. I have to go buy some film tomorrow, and I'm gonna bring this along, do some experimenting, see if I can get some cool shots. Now I'm gonna stop waffling. Everyone's probably clicked off already, but it is what it is. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.